Let's have a look at foreign exchange markets right now. Then euro-dollar currently trading at 135.36. So we've seen some considerable retrenchment from the days when we were pushing up against that 140 level not so many weeks ago. Following Japan's preliminary GDP announcement, we saw the yen ease against the dollar. Right now, dollar-yen is trading at 83.19. Those quarterly numbers also confirm China has overtaken Japan to become the world's second largest economy after the United States. But Japan's chief cabinet secretary pointed out that Japan is still ahead of China in terms of GDP per capita.
Although we have been overtaken in terms of country GDP, Japan is still around 10 times higher than China in terms of per capita GDP. We have to make use of our affluence as well as the development of neighbouring countries to help pass on our wealth to the next generation.
Let's talk to Mario Singh, director at FXprimus.com, who's on set with us over in Singapore. Mario, thanks for coming in. Let's talk about the fact that after President Mubarak has stepped down, we have seen some risk appetite coming into the markets, but you have to be pretty nimble in these markets if you want to play the risk-off, risk-on trade when we consider that some of the protests and the demands for regime change look as if they could spread into other parts of the Middle East or even other parts of the world. Where do you see the opportunities to make money on that sort of risk-on, risk-off trade?
Hi, and a great question. Well, firstly, after the step down of Mubarak, many people are saying, hey, could it be the next one in Algeria or Jordan or even Yemen, since that has really set a precedent in terms of how the people power is coming into play. For this particular week, I do see risk on coming back to the markets, in particular three currencies, the Aussie dollar, the sterling, and in fact the Canadian dollar, which has just recorded its biggest trade surplus in the last 10 months. So I see risk on in these three currencies in particular.
Yeah, risk on could get capped, especially because of the CPI number out of China. PK Basu, as he was leaving, he was saying that CPI is going to be much higher than the consensus forecast, which is about 5.3. He was saying it's going to be closer to 6%. So is that a key headwind?
Well, I agree that CPI will be a lot higher. In particular, the last previous numbers came in at 4.6%. I see it higher at 5%, possibly about 5 to 5.2. And that one is going to fuel the ride into the Aussie dollar as well.
Let's talk about changes at the Bundesbank and the ECB then, Mario, because this certainly was something, a developing story all through last week that seemed to take the markets by surprise a little bit, and you can see some discernible effect on the single currency. Many people had just assumed that Axel Weber, a real hawkish character, was going to become the ECB president, and now we're thrown into this really uncertain world.
I agree with that. In fact, many people in the financial world were saying, hey, that was a done deal, that he is going to be the next one after Trichet. But having him stepping down on the 30th of April, I see the next most likable candidate to be the governor of Bank of Italy. My nemesis, Mario Draghi.
Draghi, you know, a name that's been creeping up. Now, as we talk about inflation, the fact that Axel Weber is not going to be ECB head, and also the fact that Paul Volcker, who is also known for being a very good, ardent inflation fighter, now being replaced as an outside Obama advisor. What does that really mean for the inflation story for these developed regions?
Well, in a nutshell, Chloe, what's going to happen is that people at the ECB, they're just not too concerned of inflation at this point, which is why you're seeing the whole drop in the euro dollar coming in. So what's going to be happening is going to be still a lot of volatility, but in essence, the ECB, they're just not concerned with inflation because it's being kept at below 2%.
Volcker? He's no longer part of the team, so you've got two hawks who are out of the scene now, both in the U.S. and the Eurozone. What does that mean, really?
Essentially, what's going to mean for the Forex markets will be the euro dollar will be trending downwards. I see it possibly heading towards 132 in the next couple of months.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your insights there. Mario Singh, director at FXprimus.com. His call for euro dollar, 132 in the next few months.